Hey guys, what is up? It's your boy Vijalarazzi here, and today is my Monday market overview. For every one of my market overviews that I will be doing, I'll be talking about 3 different altcoins as well as giving my analysis on what's going on with Bitcoin. I know that I already have a segment cut out for Bitcoin on Thursdays. I wanted to add it to my Monday market overview because of the fact that all of these altcoins really rely on what Bitcoin does. So it only makes sense that I throw this into the Monday market overview. But overall, the coins are actually going down today. We're seeing quite a bit of red. This is what's to expect when Bitcoin's kind of just consolidating. A lot of the times when Bitcoin consolidates, the coins just do nothing but bleed. The average losers are ranging anywhere from about 2 to 8%. So there's not too many huge losses around. More of just little pullbacks in between as prices consolidate. Market cap sitting at 288 billion, just shy of 300 billion. 24-hour volume is at 15.1 billion, and BTC dominance is currently sitting just under 48%. It looks to me like prices are really just kind of waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do. So I'm going to transition to my screen and we're going to kind of dive in on what's going on with the market as a whole. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart here of Bitcoin, we can see that prices have got a strong sell-off here. We got some nice bear volume coming in. However, prices are more or less just wicking down. Remember, where we were last week was right here, and I told you guys that I expected a little bit of a retrace to come. We in fact did retrace a little bit. We didn't come all the way down to this lower trend line, which tells me that this 5 of the 3 wave is not yet complete. And I think that we have to go a little bit higher before we come back down and retest this trend line. We're currently still working on this 3 wave of this Elliott wave sequence. We finished the 1 wave, finished the 2 wave, and now we're working on the 5 of the 3. I think that we have one more push left in us that should take us about to a couple targets that I'm going to be watching out for. Are going to be about 8,800 and then about 8,600. So anywhere in between about 8,800 and then 8,600 is going to be an area where I think that prices aren't necessarily going to be able to break above. You might get some wicking up past it here, but I don't think that we're going to see too much pushing of price beyond this point before we get that retrace back on to trending support. The reason why I wanted to start this Monday market overview with Bitcoin was because of the fact whatever Bitcoin does, the altcoins are going to do. And what I'm expecting with Bitcoin is I think that we're going to get a little bit of a push back up a little bit higher, and then we get that retrace back onto this trend line. I think that with this push, this will be the end of our 3 wave, and then we'll get that retrace. And then during this retrace, guys, pay attention to this. During this retrace back onto the trend line, I'm expecting a lot of the volume to leave Bitcoin and kind of go back into some of these altcoins. And this in turn should kind of give us a little bit more of a rally inside of the alts. Anytime Bitcoin finishes its moves and then it goes in for a small retrace, a lot of the times during that retrace, a lot of that money is leaving Bitcoin and kind of going back into the altcoins. All of the people that made profit during the initial rally in Bitcoin are now taking their profits, and then with those profits, they're flipping them into cheaper alts. So this is kind of what I'm expecting. Right now, we're still working on the 5 of the 3 wave. Once we get completed with this, then we'll start to move back onto this test of the trend line. But this is what I'm watching out for in Bitcoin. Now I'm going to actually transition, and we're going to go take a look at some of my picks for these altcoins of the week. The first coin on the list is going to be Pascal coin. Now Pascal is a coin. Funny how I said that. Pascal is a coin that has a fairly new market cycle that I expect to perform very well throughout this next bull run to follow. Some patterns that I'm noticing. Pascal goes in these periods where it has these pretty decent sized rallies, followed by these periods of accumulation back onto this trend line. And that's actually what we're starting to see here. If I come through here and draw a trend line for us, to kind of give us a little bit of an idea of where we're at in this market. As you can see, every time prices come back down after the initial rally and retrace back onto this trend line, we get this strong accumulation followed by another rally. So this is the pattern that I've been seeing within Pascal. Now I chose this coin because these newer market cycles generally get very explosive when they're first added to these exchanges. And based off of the current price history of Pascal, it looks like this market cycle is no different. We have these rallies followed by a retrace back onto the trend line, prices accumulate, and then rally again. Retrace back onto the trend line, accumulate, and now most recently with this market cycle, we're starting to see a very, very parabolic trend. Prices are getting ballooned very, very high really quickly. And so that's actually why I chose this coin, is because I'm expecting this coin to perform very well as this next bull run commences. We're currently resting back onto this trend line. Prices have retraced. Right now is a great time to be looking to accumulate some of your Pascal tokens, because of the fact that what price history has taught us is that when we retrace and test back onto this trend line, what's to follow is a rally on the upside. So every time prices have done that, we've got a strong bullish rally followed. And now what we're currently doing is we've retested back onto this trend line, and now we're waiting and consolidating before we do move back onto the upside. So this is why I'll be looking to accumulate close to this trend line. Remember, the trend line is going to give you some of the best risk to reward ratio setups. So that's what I'm going to be looking to be doing as prices consolidate on this trend line. This is a coin with a very explosive market cycle that I do not see slowing down anytime soon. Next on the list is we're going to actually take a look at ZRX. Like Pascal coin, ZRX is a token that hasn't been around very long, and it has a fairly new market cycle. Based off of the price history, all we've really ever done is had this little short consolidation period followed by a rally. And now prices are currently consolidating in this retrace. And this retrace actually looks like this retrace is actually a symmetrical triangle pattern. So I'm going to draw that here for you guys. If you've watched my video on chart patterns, you'll understand that a symmetrical triangle is a bilateral chart pattern. Bilateral meaning it goes both ways. This really isn't a bullish or a bearish pattern. It's more or less just an indecision move. It's really not going one way or the other. It's just kind of consolidating to a fine point. And that's what we're starting to see here. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this coin is because of the fact some of these newer market cycles often get very explosive. If we can break back out of this triangle, this symmetrical triangle pattern, I think that prices should balloon and should begin to go very parabolic on the upside. A good target to look for, $5 is a very solid target for upside to come. In fact, I think it'll actually go higher than that, but I think that $5 is a solid target to be watching out for. This was really just one of those coins that I picked because of the fact it's hard to predict exactly how high some of these newer coins are going to go. Because of the fact they don't have a ton of price history, sometimes whenever they go up, they really start to go up. And in fact, they go up so high that it wasn't even accurately chartable in the first place. So I chose this coin because we're coming towards a good point to start accumulating in. I think the prices will go a little bit higher, and I would actually look to accumulate back down here lower. I think the prices have actually gone a little bit too high, and if you were to look to buy right now, I think that you would actually be buying more in FOMO right now. So some things to watch out for. I would actually look to accumulate as prices go back towards this lower trend line. Right now it's a little bit high, and so I would wait for a better entry before looking to accumulate in this market. But I chose this coin because of the fact that some of these newer market cap coins, they get very explosive market cycles when they first get added. And so we've only ever had one market cycle, and now we're currently working on the breakout of this symmetrical triangle pattern. I think that if we can break out of this symmetrical triangle pattern, I think that that'll give us a very strong push on the upside for a new rally and hype cycle to follow. So this is a coin that I will be following and looking to accumulate as it gets closer to this lower trend line. Lastly, we're going to take a look at NEO. This was a coin that was actually recommended to me by one of my subscribers. So like I said in the intro, if you guys have coins that you want me to chart for my Monday market overviews, just drop them in the comments and I'll get back to that as soon as I can. So taking a look at NEO. NEO, as far as fundamentals goes, is the Ethereum of China. just the same as 2017 was a strong year for the Ethereum project, I think that 2018 through 2019 could be a very strong year for NEO as well, considering how it's really just one cycle behind Ethereum. We've only ever made one market cycle. Now, how do you know what's one market cycle and what's two market cycle? Now, the way that I actually count market cycles and how to know when I'm at the end or the beginning of a new one is by Elliott waves. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by an ABC retrace back onto the trend line. The reason why I use Elliott waves is because this helps me to kind of keep track of where we are in the market cycle. Anytime we finish a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move followed by an ABC retrace back onto trending support, that completes one market cycle. Now, this just so happens to be the first market cycle that has ever been made from NEO. Now, right now, we have just retraced back onto this trend line, which also is one of the best places you could look to accumulate NEO tokens, because of the fact that there isn't a lot of downside really that this coin could go. It could go lower. However, the upside in comparison to the downside is actually far greater. As this coin goes lower, you should be looking to accumulate along this trend line, because this is going to give you the best risk to reward ratio setup before we go into the next move. Now, the reason why I chose this is because there's strong fundamentals behind NEO. Just like Ethereum performed well in 2017, I'm expecting that NEO is going to do the same. I think that this could easily net us a move up to about $500 in this next rally. In fact, I think that it could go even higher than that. 500 is a solid target to kind of watch out for. Keep in mind, the way that I trade, I accumulate as prices come back to this trend line. As prices hit this trend line, I'm looking to add to my long-term portfolio and start accumulating my bags. As prices are going up, I'm just looking to be selling, because it's impossible to perfectly predict how high a market's going to go. So as the market goes up, you just want to be taking selling actions and taking those profits and guaranteeing that you have some of that locked away. This is a coin that I think will be very explosive for this upcoming year and this upcoming bull run. It's only had one market cycle. This first market cycle is really what starts the hype. These three waves in Elliott waves are often the biggest and most explosive, so I would expect that this next wave is going to FOMO pretty drastically, and we could go well over $500. However, $500 is going to be my secondary target for the now. I think that overall that's going to give us a very strong return. This is a coin that I'll be watching because it has strong fundamentals. It's a market cycle just behind Ethereum. So I'm expecting just like Ethereum performed well in 2017, I'm expecting NEO to do similar, if not the same, as far as return goes. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, always remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more updates. I'll be posting more updates in the future, so you guys can stay tuned for that. Overall, the market is a little bit down. We're doing some consolidation, but I expect that to be short-lived, as Bitcoin's going to go a little bit higher in its fifth wave. And then I think we'll get a retrace, and after that retrace, some of that money should flood back into the altcoins. So stay tuned for that. If you're wondering where I keep all of my charts that I make for these videos, you can follow me on my trading view. The link will be in the description below. So just go check that out. Give me a follow on there, and then I'll post all of my charts that I talk about on my YouTube channel onto my trading view. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.